Welcome to Brothers Born Podcast, Player 3 Edition. It's me, Crutchy.
I'm Ross Libos.
I'm Dracula Dragon.
And I'm Mini Goofus.
We're here to bring you all the awesomeness of video games.
Or at least our spin on it.
And it's gonna be great.
Thoughts may vary.
Hey! It's the Player 3 edition of Brothers Born Podcast. There are 4 of us, though. So
Yeah, there are. I mean, typically there's only 3 of us, but so people who have listened to these might notice that sometimes it's me, Steven, and Brendan, sometimes me, Steven, and Kali. Today, all 4 of us are here, so...
And it's super awesome that all 4 of us are here. But it's not really Player 3. Asterisk Player 4? Is that what...
I think it still works.
Okay.
I'm that one kid's little brother who got dragged into the entire thing.
It's like Kylie's like that, you know, like when Steven, you probably recall this when Dave and I would play video games and we would have a controller that wasn't actually plugged into the.
I was thinking that exact same thing because I used to do that to Sean.
Shut up. I remember when I was a kid, when Kevin got his PlayStation 1, I'd be like, "Hey Kevin, can I play the station?" I just called it the station, and he would roast me so hard for that and say no and not let me play it.
The station.
The station. I kind of like that though.
That's the benefit of being the older brother.
Yeah, dude.
You don't get that benefit, Steve.
I know. It's true. But now I'm like the biggest of the 3 of us, so, you know. Look who's laughing. Nobody.
Just because you're taller.
I don't think the other 2 care.
Yeah, I don't think they... I think...
All right, whatever.
Anyway,
we're here today. We got some... Go ahead, Kevin.
So I had this idea, because you know how they have like different game spin-offs, or not even necessarily spin-off, but I think we could address that. Basically what I want to do is I want us to pitch to each other or come up with really terrible video game ideas. So like you come up with a premises for a game, you can even title the game, and then
quick pause.
Talk about how terrible it is.
You always I don't want to be that guy, Kevin, but the word is premise. You often say premises, I've noticed.
What is happening? Why are we
just saying.
grammar policing?
I'm just saying.
You know what? You're probably one of those people that say that are first when you get sick and you say that you feel nauseous, so it's fine.
What do you mean feel nauseous?
What are
you supposed to say?
Deep.
No, you're not. That's not what that word means.
What are you supposed to say?
You feel nausea, not nauseous.
That's absurd.
No, it's not. So nauseous is a thing that causes the nausea. So like if you eat beef pot pie, for example, and then you feel nausea because of it, then the beef pot pie is what's nauseous, not you.
Why are you hating on beef pot pie, man?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just using an example.
But on the off chance that I do happen to be causing nausea to someone else,
Then
I
you would
be
be
considered
nauseous.
nauseous, yes?
Yes, that's true. All right, so I have a couple of ideas, but my first one is I was thinking of doing like this would be like a sequel prequel type of game.
Okay.
To Call of Duty. So my thought is, hear me out on this. Call of Duty Paleolithic Edition.
Call of Duty Paleolithic Edition.
Yeah. So instead of
So,
using
like,
guns and stuff, like in
spears?
Modern Warfare, you use spears.
Dude, that's
Clubs.
rad. That's not a terrible video game. I would play that.
I like bows and arrows.
No, you
Rocks
would
at each
not
other.
even bows and arrows.
Just
See, initially it sounds like it'd be rad, but then think about like, I don't know. I think it would get very boring very quick.
yeah, I suppose after a round or 2, you'd be like, all right, this is kind of... So like, are you talking like hunter-gatherer situation?
Yeah.
Where like you're just running to other tribes of cavemen like Neanderthal people, and then you like just beat
Yeah,
them up?
and you have to beat them with a stick. Yeah.
So it's not really called Call of Duty. What would be the...
No, that's the whole idea though. Is just because Call of Duty they have like World War II, but then they have like Modern Warfare. So it's like going the opposite direction to an extreme level.
Huh. See, that's pretty... I could see that. But now you make me think Call of Duty Civil War Edition would be pretty cool. I would play that, but...
I've actually played... No, it wasn't Call of Duty, but I've actually played a first-person shooter that was a Civil War game.
That'd be kind of cool. But
it got boring pretty quick, actually. That's why I came up with this idea, because I was like, what can make it... You could make it even more boring.
So how would you regenerate life in this game?
I mean, obviously you have to eat some mammoth meat.
Could you use a mammoth tusk as a weapon?
No, man, you can't, dude. Those things would be heavy.
Oh yeah. I just like the idea of seeing someone beat someone down with a mammoth tusk. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Huh.
So that was my first one.
That's
Uh,
interesting. I see. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if that did exist one day. What do you think, Brendan? What do you think about that? Would you play that game?
I mean, they do have some games that are like not Paleolithic, but medieval. But medieval has a bunch of different types of weapons. With
That's true.
the Paleolithic stuff, you'd like have a club, maybe a
pretty much.
rock,
Yeah,
and
you
a
could throw a
spear.
rock. Yeah, maybe a spear, but it's mostly
Maybe.
maybe a club. You have a club, or you could throw rocks. Those are your
Yeah.
two options.
You'd probably running around and club a couple things, be like get a couple chuckles, and then you'd be like, all right, I'm done.
But like,
I-
there's a cool twist on a multiplayer though. It's like protect the pregnant women instead of capture the flag. Like you protect your ladies.
All right.
All right, yeah, sure.
That could be that's high stakes there, man. I might get kind of on the edge of my seat for that one. But there would be some sort of weird cheat code where you can be a normal Call of Duty player and come in and just blast everybody, and you win.
That would be hilarious.
That would be ridiculous.
It's like
You
what was
see all
it?
these people with clubs running around, and then there's just a guy with like an AK rifle up there.
Remember Turok 2 that Oblivion is now or Oblivion is near or something like that? That code you'd type in and it gave you all the weapons.
Yeah.
Cerebral
Yeah,
War.
they also had a code where all the dinosaurs that you fought had giant heads.
That's sweet. I forgot about that.
I
That's
miss
that's
big head
amazing.
big head stuff was always funny.
Big head mode is amazing, and I love it.
Can
I-
Call of Duty Paleolithic Edition have a big head mode, Kevin? Please.
Sure. I
I'd
mean,
play
most
it
of the
then.
Call of Duty games have a zombie mode, but I don't think you could. Yeah, you know what? We'll throw a zombie mode in there too.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Big head mode, zombie mode. I gotta make this game interesting in some way. Well, I thought there's a lot of some of these are already a thing. I think an interesting genre that's very easy to do a boring game with is the sim genre. So
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've got some
My-
ideas for that too.
my
me
brother-in-law
too.
was playing the lawn mowing simulator, and he thought it was like awesome. I'm like, what? This is so like boring. But he's like, it's very therapeutic for me. You see the results of like this lawn you mow. But he really liked it. Not really my cup of tea. But I thought in simulation games, there's a lot of opportunity here, and one that Stephanie and I came up with is you work at a library, okay, and the library books are taken out of the library and they're put back in, and you have to reorganize the library books. And just when you're done organizing a shelf, guess what? It's messed up again, and that's the whole game is alphabetizing books by genre and organizing by
So-
genre.
So Librarian Simulator.
Librarian Simulator.
Librarian Simulator. Yeah, the
I
thing
definitely
is,
would
right?
not. I definitely would not
I could
play
see
that.
that being extremely relaxing for some people.
Maybe I could see it's kind of like the lawn mowing simulator for my brother-in-law. He likes it, but and then maybe once in a while you have a really like an annoying customer that nagging you about looking for some book that's really hard
Do-
to find or something.
Do you get to shush people?
Oh, dude, that's an element I had not considered. That sounds like it'd be more fun. Oh, that's so cool. There's a noise level, and it's your job to keep the noise down. Otherwise, you lose. That's another facet of the simulation.
The shush button. All
Shush
games should
button.
have a shush button from now on.
Yeah, you're right.
It's, they should just put it in there. It doesn't even have to do anything. Just needs to be there.
Shush button. So I don't know. I think I would not have any interest in this, but I was curious what your thoughts were. Would any of you play a librarian simulator?
I definitely would not play a Librarian Simulator.
I would only play the Librarian Simulator if it was like real dirt cheap. Or free. If it was free, I'd probably
That's a
love it.
good segue into our next segment after we're done with this.
Brennan, what do you think about librarian simulator?
I would not play it. I mean, there's a lot of weird simulators out there, like you said. I know there's like Power Wash Simulator too that
What? That's a
Aria was telling me
Yeah.
about.
that was
Yeah,
my
that
next
was the thing.
idea.
Dude, Power Wash Simulator is on it's on Oculus. It's a It's a virtual
like-
reality game.
I can see that being
Okay,
really
it might
cool
be
to
better,
play in
actually.
VR, though.
Huh. Yeah, that was one of my ideas though. I personally have zero interest in it, but I guess now that you added the library noise element to it, that does make it more fun. Or maybe the Wi-Fi goes down at the library and you have to figure out how to get it back on again. You could all do all kinds of things. But yeah, librarian
We gotta
simulator.
make this game now. This is starting to get more and more interesting by the second.
All right, Brendan Colley, you got any ideas for us?
Okay, so in the kind of thing of simulators, right? I came across this game the other day called Placid Duck Simulator, where
Okay.
it's just a rubber duck in a pool, and that's it.
What? People
It's
pay money
literally
for
just
this?
ducks in a pool. And so I was thinking about that, and I'm like, well, what else could we do with
Oh,
that?
Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. There it is.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's just ducks.
That sucker is $9 on the Nintendo eShop.
$9.
For ducks.
That's kind of fun though. What do you do in this game?
You watch ducks. That's about it.
Huh.
It's just ducks.
So what game did you come up with then?
Okay, so I was thinking, right? It's just watching ducks. So what if we took that to the next level? And so I present to you watching paint dry. So there's different colors of paint all on a wall, and you get to watch them dry. Some of them dry faster than others, some of them dry slower than others, but you just watch paint dry.
That'd be an easy game to make too. You just put a canvas up there, put some paint on it. You could just it's like Microsoft Paint, but you watch it.
Like there's like a little hot bar. You get to pick what color you put on the wall, and then you just watch it dry.
And Kali wins the award for coming up with the most boring game possible.
Yeah. Well, that's like the whole thing. Like when something's boring, it's like watching paint dry, or watching grass grow. Like that's like what people say. So you just took that idea, that like thing people say, and made a game out of it. And
Yeah.
yeah, like what's the programming like there? Depending on what kind of paint, does it dry quicker than others? Like, is there any consequence for touching the wall before it's dry, or
Well, if you touch the wall before it's dry, right?
yeah?
You get like the paint smudges. And so it's up to you whether or not you want to leave it like that, or you can repaint it and watch it dry all over again.
So this has a way of being like a free form like art thing, like a you could almost make images. So you could make it fun. If you
But the premise itself is sucky.
yeah, it's pretty. I don't think I wouldn't even touch that. Especially if it's $8 like or $9 like the
It's
Duck
gonna be
Simulator.
like some ridiculous price, like $19.99.
You know what though? I bet if you made that thing, someone out there is gonna freaking love it. It might turn viral and people just go crazy for that. That's how a lot of these like weird
There was
games are.
something like that recently. You just click on a duck or something, or like a banana that went like super viral on like Steam or something, and people just clicked a banana.
Man, our librarian and Neolithic paleo whatever you call it, Call of Duty game sound great compared to this, Kevin. Like how
It's true.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if there's like a thing I could use to make that paint drying game.
Oh, probably. I bet the coding's not that complicated on something like that. Huh. Man. All right, Brendan, what you got?
All right, you know how when you play a game, sometimes you just like, I just want to get into the game, just skip the cutscene, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But instead, when you start up this game, you push start, and it says skip to the credits, and you hit yes, boom, credits, you beat the game.
Wow. So innovative. I love it.
So what if you don't skip to the credits though? What happens then?
Well, then it very slowly goes through just like a cutscene that's like just like a movie. AI generated, of course, to save money. And
So this
and
is
then
like
it just
random
goes to the
cutscenes.
credits anyway. Yeah, it's just cutscenes, but everyone's gonna skip them eventually, and then it just skips to the credits.
Dude,
Is there
that's
any
the game.
context in these cutscenes, or are they just cutscenes like
It's gonna be
hodgepodge
the
together?
most random, nonsensical stuff.
like most
Oh, you
AI
said
generated
AI
things.
generated, so like
Yeah,
every
dude.
time you do it, it'd be a different cutscene.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I might actually play
Procedurally
that. Actually.
generated cutscenes.
It's only cutscenes.
You could never 100% it because the AI makes something different every time.
Yep.
Well,
It's a new experience every time you play.
how do you get the platinum trophy in this game?
I haven't thought of that. Maybe spend 24 hours watching cutscenes before skipping to the credits.
That dude, those credits are about to be sweet too. Has like your name and the AI generating name that you have.
Like it's just like the same person in like 17 different roles.
Or are the credits AI generated too?
Yeah, just AI generated the credits.
Brendan, what would the name of your game be called? What would the name of your game be?
I wouldn't name it. I would just AI generate it.
It turns into like a virus because the AI generates a new name every time. So you think it's a new game. It's not. It's the same game you
It's
keep
the same
downloading.
game.
Yep.
It's gonna take up all your storage space.
I had some other ideas, but I still think I could top either one of those, Kali's or Brendan.
Hello there. Do you like the sound of my voice? That's a stupid question. Of course you do. And because you love my voice so much, you probably want to hear it with more clarity. Well, good news. You can help make that happen. You see, having access to better equipment means better quality, but better equipment is expensive. By donating some funds our way, you can help us improve the equipment we have and help us with any fees and the like we accumulate while producing content. We have 3 tiers of donation available. First is a monthly payment of 99 cents. Tier 2 is a monthly payment of $4.99, and our third tier of monthly payment is $9.99. To make donations, follow the link embedded in this episode's notes. There is of course no obligation, and you can still listen to our content for free. But if you love my voice, as well as those of my bros, or if you just want us to have a better looking site, we would welcome your support. Thank you in advance, and please enjoy the rest of the show. So you guys remember, Steven, this is before your time, Kali. Remember original Mortal Kombat game?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. You remember like so I came with remember the test your might bit that they had in between matches?
Oh yeah,
Like the
chop
karate chop thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that. Where that's it. That's the entire game. It's just a bunch of test your mights.
With a battle in between them, like the opposite of Mortal Kombat.
I would even call it Mortal Kombat. Test your might.
I could see them making that in like a mobile cell phone game or something.
Yeah, dude. Mobile
Yeah,
games are like where this sort of thing really, really pops because most mobile games are terrible.
This is true.
I got an idea. It might be a thing already, but you're in charge of a hotel. Guess it's sort of a simulation game again. But your hotel specifically has celebrities that come to it, and like before they do a concert or before they're filming a movie or whatever it might be. And your job as the hotel manager is to make sure they get all the special needs they want in their room. And if they don't, their concert goes badly, and it reflects on you as the hotel manager.
Wait, so what you're saying is that you can intentionally mess up the celebrities like concert?
You can. That would make the game more fun. But the idea is like to win, you have to meet all their needs. Like, for example, one time, I don't know, some celebrity wants like a special kind of toilet seat or whatever. So it's your job as the hotel manager in the game to accommodate them. And if you don't, you suffer.
See, that actually sounds like a game I would maybe consider playing though.
You think so? Yeah.
If it was like
Yeah.
super cheap.
This reminds me of a story I heard. So there was this band, I forget which one because it's been a while since I read it, but they had specifically asked for a bowl with no brown M&Ms
Oh, I've heard
to
of
make
Oh
it.
sure
yeah.
that
It's who was it
Yeah.
that did that?
to make sure like
Ah.
their the people who are holding the venue like actually read through everything.
Yeah, I can't remember what the band was. I want to say it was like I don't know, it's a pretty well known one. I know what you're talking about though. I've heard that before too. I don't remember what the band
Yeah.
was though. Yeah, they'll do that to make sure that the people actually read their
Van
contracts.
Halen. Was it Van
I think
Halen?
I think it was Van Halen.
Interesting. But I guess that game's not that boring compared to watching paint dry or an AI generated nightmare.
Well, they don't have to necessarily be boring. It can just be games that just don't have really go anywhere, like my tester might game.
I thought about like a point and click adventure where you're a little bug, you're walking around like the backyard, and you get to a plant, you click on it, and you just find out all these facts from encyclopedia about that plant. You walk to the next one, same thing. That's the whole game. That could be kind of.
Okay, but that's like an interactive.
That's like an
encyclopedia.
educational game.
Like that's a really cool idea.
Well, thanks.
They should make Wikipedia like that.
Wikipedia would be cooler if you were a bug walking around.
Like
clicking on things.
it's like a giant Okay, I don't. At my library, at least, there's like this big table with a clear top, and they have like different pictures of like butterflies and quotes and stuff in it. So it's like a big clear top table that has a bunch of like these pictures of flowers and everything, and you point at one, and it brings you to the Wikipedia article about it.
Huh. That's actually kind of cool. Dang it! I'm making good games.
Well, quit making good games. All right, Brendan or Kali, you come up with another bad game.
So you know how you got like flies and stuff when they crawl on your screen, like phone screens and everything. You play as the fly that crawls on your screen, and that's all you do is you just crawl on screens and annoy people. They don't even swat at you. You just crawl on
They
the
just
screen.
accept it.
That's pretty cool, man.
It kind of reminds me of Mr. Mosquito a little bit.
I was thinking that when I thought of this.
I actually played that recently. Like I played just the first level. I forgot how ridiculous that game is.
That's pretty fun though. Like you're the fly. Annoying. Yeah. I would play that for like 10 minutes. Or oh dude, this would take some work, and I don't think it's possible, but what if this game was created like it was a mobile game, right? And somehow you could do it so you could put a fly on any phones around you. So like people will think there's like, let's say for example you're standing in line at a theme park, you do this, somehow you put a fly on the phone next to you, and the guy's like, "Oh, stupid!" And you're like, "Hey," you're just laughing to yourself. I don't think you can do that.
Like an internet connection.
Like infect other people's phones with your fly, but that'd be
It'd be like a virus, though.
That'd be pretty. That's the
That
kind
would
of
be
virus.
pretty
I
fun.
wouldn't data farm at all. I'd just freaking bug people.
There's no point to this virus except to make
Bug
people
people.
annoyed. It's not harmful or anything. It's just a bug on your screen. That's it.
That's pretty good.
All right, so I was thinking again, right? And so you know how like florists, right? They make like bouquets.
Yeah.
So what if, right? Instead of being the florist who makes the bouquets, you're their assistant who just goes and picks the flowers. Like that's your
Like
only
a flower
job.
picking simulator.
It's just flower picking.
Huh.
But like there's a little bit of like not just a boring mindless aspect, because like you have your plant, right? It's got like 7 flowers on it, and you got to find like the biggest, most brightest one. But
See,
the differences are very subtle.
we're riding a line of kind of interesting here, though. Like I'm not saying I would be into that, but some people might like to.
I could definitely see where people would like that kind of thing.
But it is not the most exciting thing, though. That
No,
is
it's not
for sure.
exciting. No, not at all.
Well,
All right, I do have another one. I got
Yeah.
several of them, but we might have to do this again sometime. Harvest Moon, real
Yes.
life edition. So it's Harvest Moon, but everything happens in real time.
So you can only play it like a few days out of the year.
Exactly.
that's interesting. So, and like it's 20. So if you want to do something at nighttime, you have to play.
You
at
have to wait
nighttime.
until it's nighttime to
Animal
actually do it.
Crossing does that a little bit, but you're not planting anything in Animal Crossing, huh?
Yeah, but even in Animal Crossing, like if you do plant something, it only takes like a day or two, right?
Yeah.
But in this game, like it takes months to grow your corn. It takes like
My corn, no.
So what do you do with the rest of the time?
I mean, well, you're supposed to find ladies and marry them, right? So you do that.
So
But
it's
it
a
has to be
dating
in real time.
simulator
But it
as
has to be in
well.
real time. So if
Huh.
you commit, you have to commit to this game because you're like, oh, let's go on a date Friday night. You have to wait until Friday night,
And then like actually go on.
like actual Friday night.
One time,
Wow.
Brendan had a Harvest Moon game. The one of the tree. What's the tree one, Brendan? It was on Wii.
the one on Wii.
Yeah.
Tree of something. I can't remember.
Well, I was supposed to hang out with Brendan on a Saturday, and he had a date with this girl in the game. Now, in that game, it's not real time, so he could have done it anytime. But he's like, sorry, dude, I can't hang out. I'm supposed to go out with whatever what was her name? I don't know.
I can't remember her name.
I was like, dang it. But Brendan ended up hanging out with me. He didn't commit to the.
You didn't commit to the to the video game date.
No.
She was mad at me.
Dude, what about a Mario Piranha Plants game where like you're the piranha plant and you just go up and down in a tube in hopes of catching Mario?
I would play that for sure.
That'd be pretty. I mean, Brennan. I mean, Kevin, you and Kali were working on something with RPG Maker that was kind of fun, where you're like an innkeeper and an RPG.
Oh yeah, so we never
Yeah,
finished the game,
yeah.
but the premises of it, because RPG Maker is a really difficult. You have to have a lot of patience for these things to actually make a game that's actually playable. But in ours, it wasn't like a dumb simulator though. But the premises of the game is you were an innkeeper. They got fed up with being an innkeeper in an RPG, so you leave the inn. And like we didn't get to it yet, but we were gonna reach. We were gonna make it a point where there's like a line waiting to get in this inn, like adventurers waiting to get in this inn to get rest, but they can't because you're not there anymore.
And then like every so often when you come back, the line just gets longer.
Yeah, it gets longer.
That's so
But
funny.
we started working on it, but we spent hours and hours and hours when we got like 5 minutes worth of gameplay, maybe.
That's the thing with those.
But we
Like,
did come
yeah.
up with the concept, right? And this has been passed around even in conversations not about this. The ye old danger hole.
Yeah. A guy made this hole in the ground. It's called the EO danger hole. We don't know what's going to happen if you go inside of it yet. We haven't programmed that part of it.
And the funniest part about this hole is that I had made a sign for it, and it says very dangerous on the bottom. But I didn't know how to spell dangerous, and I didn't want to look it up, so it actually just says very dangerous.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. That's fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We were messing around with that a lot. We had like, what else did we do in that? We had like this guy who just runs around in a circle. When you talk to him, I don't know. It was pretty funny. Uh, Eventually we'll work on it again.
Eventually, sometime in the future,
Well, speaking of,
maybe.
Kali said something earlier that was going to segue into our next thing. What was it, Kevin?
I would only play that game if it was like dirt cheap.
That's right.
Yep, that's right.
So a little bit ago, Kali said she would only play that game if it was dirt cheap, and I think that applies to any one of the games that we came up with today. Which got us thinking: what if we selected a game that was dirt cheap and played it, and then discussed it together? Now, some of these might be good. Some of them will probably be bad, but
That's true.
I think it'll be fun to pick a game on the Nintendo eShop. At least for the beginning, we'll start off with that. Maybe eventually we'll dip into other platforms, but I think for now we'll stick with the eShop. We pick one, and then next time the four of us get together, we can discuss our findings with the game.
Findings on the game. So the rule is the game has to be $5 or less.
Yes, $5 or less. It can now. The way you can sneak a good one is if there's something that's on sale for $5 and less. It still counts.
Because I found one called 13, but in Roman numerals. That's right. Currently 75% on 75% off right now, which could mean it's a terrible game because why would you discount something 75%?
Yes.
So that was one idea I had. It looks like it's like a first-person shooter type thing. So that was
13?
one. Yeah, Roman numeral. So XIII.
All right.
So that was one I found. I found one called Mark of the Ninja. It's like a stealth game, sort of, but it's 2D. It looked pretty good.
I've played that one actually. It's pretty good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
for
scratch
like
that
a
one because
cheap
Brendan's
little-
already
Yeah,
Brendan's
sorry.
already played it.
You spoil
Um,
sport. Don't do that.
So, but it's a good game now.
Yeah, it's a fun game for like $5 or less. It's really definitely worth it.
All right.
All right. 13, $4.99.
So that's one. Another one I found was called Spoiler Alert.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've never heard of that one.
It's a platforming game. You're like a real chili pepper looking dude, but you do it backwards. So you start with the boss on their level, and you move backwards ahead of the enemies as you go to the beginning. So you see the
That's
end before
cool.
you see. So that looked kind of like it might be kind of fun.
I like that. All right, which one are we vibing with here? I kind of like that one more, to be honest with you. Spoiler.
Yeah, that one does sound like a unique, cool concept.
Yeah.
All right, spoiler
Spoiler
alert.
alert,
It
it
is.
is.
Let me find it real quick. Yeah, sweet. Let's do it. Spoiler alert. $4.99, baby.
All right, cool. We'll go with that then.
It's got some
Yeah.
cool artwork too. It looks kind of like almost got like a Adventure Time vibe to it, a little bit. Cool, perfect. Spoiler alert. So we're gonna play spoiler alert, and next time the four of us get together, we'll discuss our findings. Is it good? Is it bad? Would we play it again? Would we recommend it to others? All that and more. Next time on Brothers Born, Player 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continue?